The moment the lights went out, I knew something was wrong. Not because of the darkness, but because of the silence that followed. A silence too deep, too controlled, too intentional. And when I turned around, he was already standing behind me, closer than he had ever been before. His eyes didn't look like his anymore. They were colder, sharper, like he had finally stopped pretending. That was the moment I realized he had gone deeper than I ever expected, and the truth I'd been hiding could destroy everything. My hand shook, my breath vanished, and every instinct in me whispered, "You are not safe." I used to believe that big moments came with warning signs, that life gave you hints, subtle whispers that something was about to change. But the night everything shifted, there were no warnings. Only a storm I never saw coming. His name was Daniel. To everyone else, he was the calm one, the reliable one, the man people trusted with their secrets, their tasks, their lives. He wasn't perfect, but he was steady. Steady enough for me to let my guard down. And that was my first mistake. At first, the changes were small. He started asking questions he never used to ask. Questions that felt harmless on the surface. Until they didn't. Where were you? Why didn't you pick up? Who were you talking to? I brushed it off. We all get curious sometimes, especially when we care. But curiosity should have limits. Daniel didn't seem to have them. The night it all began. I came home late, tired, frustrated, carrying the stress of the entire week on my shoulders. The apartment was dark, quiet, still, but his shoes were by the door. I called out his name, and the echo of my voice told me something was off. Then I found him, sitting in the living room, the only light coming from the street lamp outside, casting shadows across his face. He didn't look up. Not at first. "You're late," he finally said. Something in his voice made my skin tighten. I explained. Traffic, deadlines, fatigue. All true. But his expression didn't change. Instead, he leaned forward, looked into my eyes, and asked a question that didn't sound like him at all. "Why didn't you tell me the truth?" The truth? I didn't even know what he meant. But I would soon learn that Daniel had spent weeks digging, searching deeper, asking around, following threads I never gave him. Not because he didn't trust me, but because he believed I was hiding something from him. And in a way, he was right. But it wasn't the kind of secret he imagined. It wasn't betrayal. It wasn't infidelity. It wasn't anything close. It was something I had buried years ago. A painful part of my past. I never wanted anyone to uncover. A part of my life that shaped me, but also haunted me. Daniel found it. All of it. He went deeper than I ever expected, digging into my childhood. My records. My past schools. Old neighbors. Old friends. Family members I no longer spoke to. He connected dots I thought were hidden forever. So when he asked, "Why didn't you tell me the truth?" I froze. I wasn't afraid of him finding out the secret. I was afraid of what he would do, now that he knew. Because Daniel wasn't angry. He wasn't shouting. He wasn't trembling. He was calm. Too calm. The kind of calm that happens right before a person does something irreversible. I tried to speak, but the words felt stuck in my throat. He stood up slowly, walked toward me, and for the first time in the years I had known him, I stepped back. Not because he threatened me physically. He didn't. But the intensity in his eyes felt like he was peeling away every layer of protection I had ever built. "You should have trusted me," he said softly. But trust works both ways. And his obsession, because that's what it had become, was not love. It was control disguised as concern. I told him I needed space. I told him we needed boundaries. I told him he crossed a line. But Daniel heard something else entirely. To him, Space meant abandonment. Boundaries meant betrayal. Lines meant challenges. When I finally walked away that night, I thought it would end there. I thought the distance between us would give both of us time to breathe. I was wrong. For the next few weeks, Daniel made it his mission to prove that he knew me better than I knew myself. He showed up places I didn't expect him. He repeated private stories from my past that I never told him. He confronted people I hadn't seen in years. He asked them questions, as if he had the right to know who I was before he entered my life. Every day became a maze, watching my back, checking my surroundings, wondering how far he would go. But the moment everything broke was the night he cornered me in the empty hallway of my apartment building. I had just stepped inside when the lights suddenly went out. I turned toward the door, and he was already there. Not angry, not shouting, just standing, watching. "I know what you're afraid of," he whispered, "and I know why you hid it." For a second, I couldn't breathe, because he didn't just find the secret. He understood it. All of it. And that terrified me more than anything else. That night, he didn't lay a hand on me. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't threaten me. But the emotional invasion, the psychological depth he reached, felt deeper than any physical danger. He had peeled me open, without permission. He had gone too far. And I finally realized that the truth I was trying to protect was now the very thing keeping me in danger. So I ran. Not physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. I shut him out, cut all ties, blocked every channel he used to reach me. But escaping someone who believes they deserve answers is never simple. Weeks turned into months, and slowly, the storm began to quiet. With time, fear became reflection. Pain became understanding. And understanding became healing. I learned that not all danger comes with violence. Sometimes it comes with obsession, with control, with someone believing they have the right to every chapter of your life. He went deeper than I expected, and because of that, I finally learned to protect myself in ways I never had before. And the truth I once hid, I no longer hide it. Not because Daniel forced it out, but because I chose to reclaim it. My story is mine, not his, not anyone's. Mine. If this story touched you, or reminded you of someone who crossed a line in your life, you are not alone. Your past belongs to you. Your healing belongs to you. And no one has the right to dig deeper than you allow. Like the video. Subscribe for more emotional stories. Comment, "I choose my peace," if you watched till the end. Your story matters. Never let anyone take control of it.